the 2020 Whiskey Whistle NAS Whiskey of the Year. What it is, my whiskey people, Mark here at Whiskey Whistle on YouTube, sharing a little whiskey awesomeness from Winnipeg, the center of North America, bringing you my 2020 Whiskey Whistle NAS Whiskey of the Year Award. Now, super excited about this one. There are so many NAS whiskeys on the shelves these days. Have you noticed, however, there's been a resurgence of age statements coming up? How many 8-year-old whiskeys have been released in the last 2 years? It's pretty incredible. I feel like Lagavulin 8-year-old was the trailblazer for 8-year-old whiskeys. Incredible. Now in Canada, we have a couple of 8-year-olds. 8-year-old is fairly common in USA for bourbon and for rye. It had almost disappeared in Scotch whiskey circles. 10-year-old was kind of like the minimum, let's say, going back about 10 years, 10, 12 years ago. And then we had this NAS surge in the mid-2010s, starting around 2013, 14. NAS just exploded. And I feel like the industry went a bit too far and has now backed off a little bit and putting out lots of age statements. Some companies have decided to go all the way back to age statements, like Macallan. NAS has always been around. It's not new. This is not something created just to save money and try to charge people more. They've been around from the get-go. And I feel like sometimes there are NAS whiskeys that are excellent that people overlook. So here's a couple of these NASs that I feel that everybody overlooks just simply because they're no age statement. One of them because it's a blend. Anyway, I digress. Let me get into these now. There's an outright winner in Whiskey Whistle for 2020 for an NAS Whiskey of the Year. It's not this. This is the runner-up. Big, beautiful sherry nose. It's immaculate. There are no flaws whatsoever. And I feel like this is a mix of 3, maybe 4 distilleries. So you have a fairly narrow blend to showcase those amazing whiskeys from those distilleries blended together, which makes it even more rounded and even more balanced. Wonderful dried fruit nose, fresh red fruits, and also some dried fruits, all dried fruits. So you have a little bit of something like strawberry in there. Maybe more like a strawberry jam, a little bit of raspberry. A little bit of Korean omija. That is Shizandra in Chinese, I think. The palate is very soft. And it would be better if it were higher strength. It's still a pretty good strength, but pretty nice. Now, color-wise, I'm sure we have a bit of color added, but just your standard dark golden color, almost getting into the copper hue. And the legs, it's got nice legs, giving it strength. Beautiful legs. It is slightly under-strengthed, that's what I will say. But the palate is juicy, easy to drink, delicious red fruits, some nice light caramel, some vanilla coming in there. It's a bit creamy. Delicious. So let me present the runner-up first of all. The runner-up for 2020 Whiskey Whistle NAS Whiskey of the Year, folks. And that is Naked Grouse. Yeah, incredible. 40 something, $43, $44 here in Manitoba. So you're talking about $20 less than typical entry-level single malts, and you're getting 43% ABV, not 40. So if you're talking about Macallan 12-year-old double cask or triple cask, we don't have the sherry here in Manitoba. Or if you're talking Glenmorangie, or if you're talking Glenfiddich, Glenlivet, this is much more reasonable. And I feel like you're getting great value here. So Naked Grouse from Edrington, runner-up for 2020 NAS Whiskey of the Year. Well done. Put that right over there. All right, now then, let's get into the 2020 NAS Whiskey of the Year, which is, where is it now? This one right here. Take off the whiskey hat. Big, beautiful, meaty peat. It's really, really beefy. It tastes like both wet burnt wood and burning, like slightly burning ham, like where you're trying to cook a ham and you've actually ended up burning a bit of the outside, that rind. And then you have a bunch of spices. There's a bit of clove here. It almost smells like a meal in a glass, like a Christmas meal. Including the plummy pudding. It's like I'm sitting by a fire and I'm enjoying a Christmas ham with all the trimmings. Beautiful. The palate, cheers. Smoky, juicy, oaky, flawless. This is an amazing Islay single malt whiskey. Now, funny story. They came to Winnipeg for the Winnipeg Whiskey Club, and we put on a special event. This one was so popular that almost everybody in the room bought a bottle of this. And I think that by now, everybody in that room has a bottle or wants one. Price-wise, it's incredible. $59. And it's 46% ABV. It's unchill filtered, it's natural in color. Delicious. And in terms of peat, it is not crazy peaty. It's crazy smoky. And it's got this really interesting, ham, that burnt ham note, which I love. It's just so interesting. All right, let me reveal this bottle. So the 2020 WhiskyWhistle NAS Whiskey of the Year. What is that going to be, folks? That is Scarabus from Hunter Lang. Well done with this. It's a single malt. It is beautifully presented. The price is amazing. Incredible price. $60. What can you get for $60? You can get Glenfiddich 14-year-old. You can get Glenmorangie. You can get maybe Bowmore 12-year-old. Those are all 40%, maybe 43 max for some of them. But here we have 46%, and it's unchill filtered. It is natural in color, beautifully presented, and it's a single malt. It's an Islay single malt. Delicious stuff. Now this one was extra matured, I think, for only 3 months. It doesn't say here, but this is what I was told, for 3 months in virgin charred oak casks. And that's what's giving it this really, really interesting hammy note, I think. But delicious. So Scarabus is the 2020 WhiskyWhistle NAS Whiskey of the Year. Well done. Is it going to sit there or is it going to fall down? There we go. Let's take one final little taste. Funny story. So, from the Winnipeg Whiskey Club, we've been doing some blind tastings with some people that live here in the southern half of Winnipeg. And we had an Isla blind tasting, take-home tasting. Now, apparently that's Kulila. I don't think it's 12 years old. I think it's maybe 7 or 8 or whatever, however old it is. Finished in virgin oak barrels, as I mentioned. Those are hand-selected barrels, I believe. I think the barrels are immaculate. But anyway, really, really funny. I would have gotten all of those right. The only problem is that I switched Kulila 12 and this Scarabus. So I thought that was 12 years old. Now, it had been a long time since I had tried Kulila 12. It just goes to show you that sometimes NAS can be incredible, especially when they are at the budget end of your single malts. That's my opinion. Now, in the past, I gave out a WhiskyWhistle NAS Deluxe Whiskey of the Year award. I haven't had enough this year. I do like the new Glenmorangie Alta. It's nice. There's a few others that I've had that I think could deserve such an award, but the thing is, I just haven't had enough of them. I didn't have the Macallan edition number 5 except for one little taste. Valfather from Highland Park. I didn't think it was really exceptional. It was good, very good. Price was also quite nice. I think it was under $90. But anyway, so all we have is Scarabus. Well done. Good job, Hunter Lang. Love it. I wonder what else you're going to bring for 2020. I'm sure it's going to be awesome. Anyway, take care, folks. Stay tuned for the 2020 WhiskyWhistle Whiskey of the Year for the category of 12-year-old and under single malt Scotch whiskey. Take care, everybody. Don't forget to subscribe it over here. Goodbye now.